Coming up on Naperville News 17, Council considers affordable housing in the Fifth Avenue redevelopment. A merger bringing more help to victims of domestic violence. And seniors are drawn to some new tech at the library. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Pierce. Thanks for joining us for this week's Naperville News. Naperville City Council is working on several aspects of the Fifth Avenue redevelopment project. At the latest meeting, they covered affordable housing. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski has more.
The Housing Advisory Commission recently recommended that 20% of housing in the Fifth Avenue redevelopment project be affordable housing. Naperville City Council discussed that suggestion at its latest meeting.
This is a way to make up some of that gap, 20%. This is just a rare opportunity because we all own this property. We own this land, and this is where we can make a difference.
The Illinois Housing Development Authority mandates that 10% of housing be classed as affordable, using a metric involving average median income and property taxes. City staff said Naperville's large amount of high-valued homes skews that average property tax higher, meaning many homes in Naperville that would be considered affordable in other communities aren't classed that way here. Nevertheless, Council agreed that Naperville could improve its base of affordable housing, and the Fifth Avenue project would be a good place to start.
Now, this is an incredible location of amenities that are already right there for whatever age group you are. This is ideally located. So for that reason, and also because this is an opportunity to make a statement.
Councilman John Crumman said he'd like to see an ordinance requiring all future housing developments of a certain size to include at least 10% of affordable housing. However, while all agreed 20% is an admirable target for this project, some on the dais weren't as willing to tie the project to a specific number at this stage.
I'm not ready necessarily to commit to the legal definition of affordability right now at 20, but I'm very much supportive of having this project be highly attainable to modest earners and have that direction given to the developer.
If 20% affordable is what's decided on today, before you start to weigh all the other community benefits that we have to look at some point this is going to be a math problem, right? And we don't even know these numbers, so this is crazy to be assigning this today, in my view.
Council decided to ask staff to come back with language that would make 20% affordable housing an official goal for the project. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
Several public speakers cited the importance of affordable housing in this project due to its proximity to the Naperville Metro Station. Election Day has come and gone, and the results are in. Our own Christian Canizal gives us a full recap of the consolidated election.
Results for the 2019 consolidated elections are in. Incumbent Steve Chirico won a close mayoral race, edging out opponent Rocky Kaler by less than 700 votes. Mayor Chirico is looking forward to his second term in office.
Everything's moving in the right direction. But we're a city that has met the highest standards for a long time. And so it's hard to keep getting better every single time. But we keep working at it, and I think we have done a good job, and I want to take it to that next level.
While the unofficial results have Chirico as the winner, Kaler did not concede and is waiting for all votes to be tallied.
And we still have over 900 mail-ins that haven't been counted and absenteeism. So there's a 600 swing there that he's got. So it's still a race. It's not over. They call me Rocky, so I'm going 15 rounds.
Incumbents also did well in the Naperville City Council race. Patty Gustin and Paul Hinterlong both racked up 15% of the vote, earning them each a 4-year term. Joining the dais will likely be Patrick Kelly, who came in third, and Teresa Sullivan, who took fourth place by less than 300 votes over her closest competitor, Bruce Hansen. Sullivan is ready to try and tackle some of Naperville's issues.
And I really feel like we can solve the commuter parking problem, at the train station. It's something that I did with my husband back and forth for many years. And I do think that using technology, we can solve that issue.
Turning to the school boards, District 203 will welcome newcomer Joseph Kosminski, who took 19% of the votes. He joins Christine Gerke and Janet Yangbor, who each had over 20% of the vote. Yangbor is looking forward to the next 4 years.
Things that guided me in the last 2 years will continue to be guiding principles going forward. So for me, it's really just putting students first, right? I think as long as you have that guiding principle in mind, that you'll always make, the decisions that are right for students and right for our schools.
District 204 kept the status quo. Incumbents Natasha Grover and Mark Rising both got 25% of the vote, while Justin Karubis took the final spot with 20%. Grover plans to continue to advocate for better mental health support for students.
And if we implement something where we teach kids the tools for mental health, perhaps mindfulness or breathing techniques, when they come to middle school or high school, the situations, they will be able to deal with them better.
Finally, 75% of Naperville Township voters were in favor of dissolving Naperville Township Road District, transferring responsibilities to the township. This would eliminate an earlier plan voted in 2017, which would have had the road district merge with the Lyle Township Road District. Overall, voter turnout was low, as is typical for a consolidated election. Turnout for Wool County was near 13%, while DuPage County had close to 15%. For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Canizal.
Elected officials will take office in May. In future election news, Naperville City Councilman Kevin Coyne has announced he'll be running for the District 5 seat on the DuPage County Board in 2020. In a Facebook post late on election night, he expressed his displeasure with the current state of the Republican Party in our area. He hopes to bring back conservative principles and will fight for pro-life initiatives and small government reforms. The District 5 seat is currently held by James Healy. After the break, more drink options could be available at upcoming festivals.
From practice to homework to home improvement to bills, your days are busy. That's why Busey offers innovative financial solutions like our mobile app. Deposit checks, transfer funds, and keep your financial life in order, no matter where you are. Whether you're saving for college, keeping the family in the family business, or planning your dream retirement, Busey's your trusted partner to make your personal, business, and wealth management dreams a reality. Busey, your dream, our promise.
Stay up to date on what's happening in our neighborhoods and schools at City Hall and all across town with NCTV 17 News Update. Emailed directly to your inbox once a day, Monday through Friday, this 2-minute video not only tells you the latest news, but shows it to you, all at your fingertips.
And that's what's happening right here in Naperville.
And the best part, it's free. So sign up today at nctv17.com/subscribe.
The Last Fling and Ribfest both requested changes to expand their liquor allowances. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski fills us in.
The Last Fling is looking to add alcoholic mixed drinks to its menu. Fling officials presented to the Liquor Commission asking for the right to serve drinks like vodka lemonade or rum and coke at their event.
It's not as in, a full bar, what you would imagine, nor is it shots. When we say spirits, it's going to be, a mixed beverage.
The drinks would be pre-mixed to have roughly the same alcoholic content per serving as a beer, but would cost slightly more. The Naperville JCs, who put on the event, hoped the drinks would provide better profit margins, as well as the opportunity to solicit sponsors for each type of spirit they serve.
We're asking for this because it does provide a lot more than just spirits, and I think it's worth that conversation somewhat to understand that there is no more incident reports, police calls, or hospitalizations when we've experienced this, and it does generate not tons relative, but more revenue than you can get up front. So if it does rain, and I know Fling has experienced quite a few days of rain in the past, this will help mitigate that a little bit.
The commission wanted more time to discuss the idea, however, and tabled a vote on the item until its next meeting on May 9th. The Exchange Club of Naperville also requested the opportunity to serve samples of spirits at Ribfest. The 3 samples would not be sold, but would be available for free with admission to attendees of legal drinking age. The commission voted unanimously in favor of the idea. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
Liquor Commission also heard a request for a new type of license. Chip Von Lehman, a potential franchisee for the Buzzed Bull Creamery, came before the Liquor Commission in February requesting a new license that would allow them to serve flash frozen alcoholic ice cream. but fears that existing businesses would be disadvantaged by the new license convinced the commission to vote no to the request.
My fear is that once we open this up, I'm concerned about what comes behind it. We had chocolate martinis, we have ice cream, next it'll be cupcakes, next it'll be fruit, whatever, pick a thing, I can't even imagine.
The Creamery will take its negative recommendation from the Liquor Commission to City Council for the final say. It could still potentially qualify for a tavern license, even if Council agrees with the Liquor Commission. Buzzed Bull Creamery currently operates in Cincinnati and Wilmington, North Carolina, with another location in Atlanta coming soon. Family Shelter Service recently announced a merger with another nonprofit agency. The organization has joined Metropolitan Family Services to better serve victims of domestic violence.
We have consistently over the years had much greater demand for our services than we've had capacity. And so turning people away was just not something we were comfortable with.
Caribou, who served as executive director for Family Shelter Service before the merger, said this will allow the organization to identify efficiencies within their operation. That will lead to the ability to serve more clients, as well as providing a broader range of services. However, just because Metropolitan Family Service serves a larger area doesn't mean focus will be taken off local victims.
There is a perception, I think, that because our corporate office is in Chicago, that the local support's going to get funneled off into Chicago. That, too, couldn't be further from the truth. We have always had a commitment to keeping money in the local community.
Joining forces to help the most vulnerable. Before the merger, Metropolitan Family Services was the top referral for Family Shelter Service clients. The DuPage Forest Preserve is set to take on the second phase of the Springbrook Creek Restoration Project, which will create a new stream. The work, expected to begin later this month, should alleviate some of the creek's current problems.
There is a weir that's acting as a dam that's actually preventing water from free flowing, and it's backing up a lot of silt and sediment behind the dam. And these conditions are not good for wildlife.
Construction crews are planning to remove the dam while also creating twists and turns in the creek, which will allow the stream to run a little slower.
We incorporate different types of habitat features when we meander the creek as well. This will provide better habitat for fish, mussels, macroinvertebrates like those bugs like dragonflies and damselflies.
Part of the project also includes restoring a trail bridge, allowing for service vehicles to pass over in case of emergency. Cost estimates for the project are around $7.5 million. The project is expected to take about 2 years, during which West Branch DuPage River Trail and Youth Campground will be closed. Coming up, the cutest signs of spring are beginning to show up in our area.
Shop downtown Naperville this spring with over 100 shops, from national favorites to one-of-a-kind boutiques. Plus, over 50 restaurants. And health and beauty options too. Downtown Naperville is the premier shopping destination in the western suburbs. And don't forget about Downtown Naperville gift cards. They make a perfect gift for every occasion. Come shop, dine, stay, and have fun in downtown Naperville.
What's the matter, boy? What are you trying to tell me? Is something wrong?
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something.
Naperville Animal Crime Stoppers.
Yes, I'd like to report a case of animal cruelty and neglect.
Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves.
April is the start of the busy baby animal season. Our own Christine Lena headed to the Willowbrook Wildlife Center to learn more.
As we start to see baby bunnies, squirrels, and birds this spring, the Willowbrook Wildlife Center prepares for its busiest season of animal care.
We'll have over 1,000 patients in our care during the busy spring and summer months. We can have
up to 600 or 700 ducklings at one time, and that's just one species. Baby bunnies, cottontails, are our #1 patient that we take in every year, just because they are able to have multiple litters all throughout the season, so one mom can have maybe 6 or 7 litters in the summer.
Because of the influx, the center is in need of supplies to continue their care and medical treatment to injured and orphaned wildlife in DuPage County.
So some of the donations we most appreciate during baby season are formula. They actually do make formulas for baby squirrels, baby possums, baby bunnies. We do have an Amazon wish list, and it has all the different formulas that we use the most of.
If you come across a baby animal that appears to be hurt or abandoned, call the Wildlife Center and staff can walk you through how to best proceed. And don't be tempted to keep that baby as a pet.
So you actually need the Illinois rehabber's license to take care of wild animals. And they really do have specialized diet and care needs that, again, people just don't really know how to provide. So a rehabber has that experience to know how to do that.
Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Christine Lena.
The Willowbrook Wildlife Center is also reminding residents that, though tempting, animals like these are not good Easter gifts. A new exhibit at Naper Settlement celebrates 50 years of the Naperville Heritage Society. Our own Casey Krajewski went to check it out.
Each object kind of has a story.
That's the inspiration for the Treasures and Chronicles exhibit on display at Naper Settlement. The 50th anniversary of the Naperville Heritage Society gave the museum the chance to show off some of their favorite artifacts.
Those tried and true Napervillians are going to enjoy seeing the Joe Naper daguerreotype. We don't put that out on display very often at all. It's light sensitive. I really love the multi-mixer from the Cock Robin restaurant. It reminds me of that restaurant. It reminds me of the sort of that 1950s Americana.
Some more contemporary additions are also on display in the collection. That includes items that fall under the organization's recent emphasis on Naperville's growing Asian community.
Turning 50 is actually a really exciting opportunity to tell the breadth of the Naperville Heritage Society's story.
An old rice cooker may seem like a piece of junk, but it's the story behind the object that makes it special.
Bill Liu came over from China. His mother insisted on him taking this rice cooker with him to America because she was afraid her son was going to starve or something like that. And it was a brand new rice cooker. He had to carry it on the plane. And he came to one of our programs and one of our committee meetings and told this story. And we just said, we have to have that. And his wife was really anxious to give it to us too. So
it's those seemingly innocuous household objects that Towser said the settlement has special interest in.
Think about the materials that you have and think about the stories that are connected to those. And then think about Naper Settlement, because we actually are genuinely interested in objects like a rice cooker or something that has a story connected to you. It's not just the stuff, it's the story that goes with it.
Telling Naperville's stories from the 19th century to 2019 and even beyond. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
The Treasures and Chronicles exhibit is on display until May 19th. Another part of the Naperville Heritage Society turning 50 this year is the Weed Ladies. Naperville News 17's Christian Canizal went to find out how their group has grown.
Half a century has passed since a group of ladies got together to raise funds for the newly founded society. The like-minded group shared a passion for gardening and used weeds to form floral arrangements to sell. Thus, the Weed Ladies were born.
The Weed Ladies only had one sale a year at the antique fair. Now we have 3 main sales a year, spring, summer, fall, winter, and then we also sell at some of the events on the grounds like Chris Kindle Market and the art fair.
Over the years, they've taken on custom orders for events like bridal and baby showers, and their decorated designs have evolved too.
Originally everything was dried flowers, totally dried flowers. And now, as you can see, we have all of the, what we don't like to say artificial, we like to say everlasting, but the silk flowers that are so beautiful now.
Consumer demand for the Weed Ladies flower designs has increased over the years, making their flower arrangements a year-long operation.
We used to take a long winter's nap, but now we don't do that so much because we're busy getting ready for each of the shows.
The Weed Ladies took advantage of their spring sale from April 4th through the 7th to showcase the new design.
Our newest item is our fairy gardens. So we have fairy gardens from the tiniest ones to very sizable ones.
Every flower arrangement comes with an attached name tag of the volunteer who created it, and each has their unique style.
So that's why we were able to offer such a variety, because all the personalities of all of our individual weed ladies come out in our designs. So, and everybody has their little niche.
But as much as the weed ladies have evolved over the years, one thing has remained the same.
We spend a lot of time together, so we are a close-knit family working together. We do consider our weed lady family.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Canizal.
If you missed out on this sale, no worries. The Weed Ladies will have another sale this fall. Up next, a family setting a high bar for success at North Central.
Sharing life over plates is Vi's motto. It's a simple philosophy, and it takes all the pressure off of you. For a starter, try their Neapolitan pizzas, baked to blistered perfection in a wood-fired oven. The mushroom carpaccio is worth a visit all by itself. But if you don't want to share one of the best dinners of your life, Vi's has you covered too, with entrees of wood-grilled fillets, paccheri bolognese, or roast wild salmon.
That might be the #1 moment of my college career.
With 2 individual national championships under his belt, then sophomore Luke Winder set the bar even higher at indoor nationals in Iowa, both literally and figuratively.
I remember, coming down and yelling so loud. I remember my hair was all like falling up and down and all that, and then I just sprinted off the pit because I had all this energy that was built up just because I really wanted to make it.
18 feet 1 1/4 inch, the indoor national meet record.
He and I both knew it was, if you want to jump high, you got to risk something. And he came up to me before that jump and said, I'm going on that bigger pole. And I was like, yes, because that's what I wanted to say. But as a coach, you got to hold back a little bit.
This is a story of total domination. Luke just wrapped up not just an illustrious career, but the most illustrious career in NCAA track and field history. In his 4 years at North Central College, the Plainfield native won 7 out of 8 possible national titles in the pole vault, while placing second by 3 inches in his only quote-unquote down season. This is also a story about family.
My grandpa pole vaulted back in the day, a long, long, long time ago, obviously. And then that led to my dad doing it, and my dad actually started to fall in love with it when he was 10 years old.
Luke's father, Tim, is the pole vault coach at North Central, has been for 25 years, swayed by head coach, then an assistant coach, Frank Grammaroso, to join the program.
I convinced him to bring his camps here and bring, be our pole vault coach. And then, it started with Jake. Jake went away and wasn't happy where he was at, and then came back and spent 3 years here. And, then Josh was here, and then Luke was here. So, what a great family, and we had a great coach and, great athletes too.
Luke's brothers, Jake and Josh, combined for 5 individual national titles before Luke arrived on campus as a college freshman. To say pole vaulting, North Central, and the name Winder are synonymous is a bit of an understatement.
It's one of those challenging events that if you go at it, you got to go all in on it. And we're kind of like all-in kind of people.
But Tim and his wife Margot wouldn't let their sons go all in right away.
I did not want my sons to be instructed too early on. I wanted them to be good athletes first and just run around and play.
And so the desire to vault grew organically for who would become the owner for both the indoor and outdoor national meet records.
I'm, 5 to 12 years old, going to all their high school meets. And I just love watching everybody focus on them. It was just like the whole state of Illinois, it seemed like, was just focused on my brothers.
Naturally, in the final meet of his collegiate career, Luke went out on top, both individually and as a team, with North Central claiming its 6th indoor title. For the father and coach of 3, the meet signified the end of the Winders' run, clearing bars as Cardinals, something that hasn't sunk in yet.
One day I will look back at it and I'll be appreciative of all that. And I am so thankful for it, and I'm blessed beyond measure.
12 individual titles and 17 championships will forever be attributed to the Winder name at North Central, setting the bar ever so higher. Reporting for Sports Story Sunday, I'm Kevin Jackman.
And if you have an idea for a sports feature, be sure to send it in to newstips@nctv17.com. The Naperville Public Library has a unique program that brings exciting new tech to senior citizens. This group of seniors got to test their craftiness by learning how to use 3D pens in this month's Tech Club for Seniors.
It's a really good thing especially for seniors. They could teach their grandchildren things. They could teach their grandchildren how to draw things, or the grandchildren could help them draw things.
After choosing their design and colors, the participant traces the stencil for each section with the 3D pen before putting the pieces together and creating their own work of art. The Tech Club for Seniors is completely free, and folks can register online for future sessions on the Naperville Public Library website. And that's what's happening right here in your neighborhood, Naperville. We'll see you next week. Until then, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website, nctv17.com, for daily updates.
This week's Naperville News 17 is brought to you in part by the following sponsors. This program is partially funded by a grant from the City of Naperville.